Bonjour mes amis, this is SERVi Homestead. Thanks for joining us. I'm Dustin. We want to share a little more with you guys about our journey with raising these pigs. I'm on a stakeout to try to figure out how this male pig keeps getting out. There are no spaces between boards big enough for him to fit through. I just added a small plank at the bottom right just to make sure, but somehow he still gets out. 3 escapes ago, he just kind of busted the door over and twisted it up enough that he could get out. But since then, he got out twice from here without destroying the door. I see him sniffing around in a few different spots, but he hasn't truly tried yet because I just fed them. And so for the moment, he's satisfied. He got out of this triangular hog panel thing on the right. That's where she is. He got out of there a few times, and she hasn't gotten out at all. She's been in there for a few weeks now and hasn't gotten out. Somehow he still gets out. He broke 2 posts that were on the main fence on the back side of these 2 pens. They weren't in great shape. They were wood posts, but he still pushed on them or chewed on them or something until he broke them. I had to replace them with metal poles. Let's see if he finds a way to get out or starts to get out. See, that's the spot I just put a small plank across. Maybe that really is where he was getting out, but it's so low and small. Maybe they can go all the way down and crawl in their bellies, but it doesn't seem possible. I spoke with Mrs. J, Sim, Tim, and Steve about these pigs, and we realized it's just not our thing. I mean, we don't have the understanding and the structure, I guess. I don't really trust electric fencing, and we don't have anything of quality to really keep them in as far as electric fencing goes. And the desire to roam and the constant need for food, the expenses, the cost to feed is just so high. We've had them about 9 months, and they don't graze like sheep or cows. You have to give them like 95% of what they need to eat every day, and that's a lot. It's probably about 7 or 8 pounds of food each day for these pigs. I'm guessing they weigh over 200 pounds now. I'm sure they do. They're not quite a year old yet. Basic Yorkshire pink pigs. And so with all of these things, just the housing problem and the cost to feed, we just decided we're probably going to harvest both of them. As soon as we have time, we'll take care of the male, and then we'll give the female another month or so just to make sure she's not pregnant, and it doesn't seem like she is. Then we'll go ahead and harvest her too, and it won't be a loss. We calculated about $15 a week in feed for the 2 of them, and over the amount of weeks that we've had them, I think we'll still come out benefiting a little bit on how much meat we'll get and the price of pork. But my plan was to have her give us piglets and sell those piglets at $50 or $60 each, and actually that would only cover the cost of feed, and it would be 5 or 6 more months of trouble. And so for us, it's just not worth it. And the price of a sow is only about 35 cents a pound, so we would only make like $80 or $90 on her, and we bought her for $55, and had to spend all this money on 9 months of feed. So that's not an option to just sell them. It would be better for us to put in the work and harvest them and get a whole lot of pork. So unfortunately, looks like that's what we're gonna have to do. And ultimately, I'm fine with that. It's a hard lesson learned. We just need to stick with the animals that work best for us. The whole reason we got pigs is because the coyotes killed all of our sheep. But if I can invest a little more money in some better fencing and have 2 or 3 sections for sheep to live in safely where we can rotate them every few weeks, then that would be best. We really enjoyed having the sheep. They were low maintenance, and it was so fun seeing the lambs born at the beginning of the year and watch them jump around and skip around. They sell easily, even though they only have 1 or 2 babies at a time instead of 8 or 10 like a pig. They're just more valuable. You can sell each baby for a good bit more than you can sell a piglet. And so it's just a matter of learning what works for us and what doesn't, and just simplifying down to that animal or those few animals. I'm fine with having a few kinds of birds, like ducks and chickens, a few rabbits, and a few sheep. That's all we need right now, and we'll be happier, we'll have less trouble, and probably ultimately be more productive because we can just focus on those things that we know better. So we move the female pig from there to here so that the ground over there can dry up a little and have a break. And she has never gotten out, never even seems to try. So it was him. He was the problem. Hey, you hear me talking about you? He just liked freedom, but I'm glad we got rid of him, and he's in the freezer giving us a lot of good pork. And we're gonna wait and see if she is pregnant. I don't know how to tell. We never raised pigs before. I just know it takes about 3 months, 3 weeks, and 3 days. And they really may not show a swollen belly and develop teats until just a few weeks before giving birth. So we'll see. We'll wait another month or so. If she doesn't show any signs, then we'll harvest her also while the weather is still decently cool. In some ways her belly does seem a little bigger. Maybe you guys can tell. Is that a pregnant pig right there? Leave a comment below on what you think. Alright, well, thanks for watching this pig update, everybody. See you on the next one.